Welcome to Coffee and Candor. This is Amber,
Chris,
Ross,
and Brandy.
And we don't know what we're talking about.
And we are just phoning this shit in because we don't know what we're going to talk about.
Oh, okay, I had to get that out of the way. I did watch
so much enthusiasm.
Yeah. I did watch a Breonna Taylor thing on Netflix.
We're going to have to watch that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, I didn't write everything down, but from what I can remember, they said, because the boyfriend was talking about it, he said that they were in bed, I think playing cards or something, and had the TV on, and she was getting tired and wanted to go to sleep, and asked him to turn the TV off. And I don't know how long after they had gone to sleep, but just pounding at the door. Now the police, they said it was a no-knock warrant, but they said that they weren't going to do that.
So they did not?
Yeah, they did knock. They said that they said that it was the police several times. Now there were several people in the apartment complex. I think maybe they had maybe 5 witnesses that were talking. 4 of them said that they heard them pounding, never once heard police.
Yeah.
There was one guy that said he did hear police. So
Yeah, if there were several, it makes you wonder where he was versus...
yeah, so not sure where that came from. He said they never heard police. She asked, it was like their bedroom's kind of in the back, and then the hallway, I think, went straight to the front door.
But in this age of such hatred towards the police, it makes me wonder if they were, the other 4 were being truthful about not hearing them.
I have no idea. But I think she had kind of stuck her head in the hallway and was like, "Who is it?" And never got an answer, and he told her to say it louder, and she was like, "Who is it?" Pounded again, never answered. The boyfriend had gotten his gun, which he had legally. He had paperwork to carry and all this stuff. He shot one time and hit an officer in the leg. I don't know if they had already pushed the door open.
Yeah, well, at that point, they would have had to have already breached.
Yeah, I don't know. And then the police officer I saw photos of this apartment. There were gunshots in the walls, the furniture, the pots and pans in the kitchen. There was one in the ceiling. The patio door was completely shattered.
Jesus Christ.
Yes, there were a lot. Now, they said one officer... someone said they heard 10 shots. One officer shot 6 shots. Another detective, they don't know how many he shot. I'm gonna say right now with those pictures, it looks like a lot more than that.
So I am.
That's bullshit that they don't know how many he shot.
Well,
yeah.
No, they know. They counted them.
Yeah.
They counted them. The missing rounds out of his gun.
They may have not said on there how many he shot.
But I am not a police officer. However, I do know basic gun safety, and you're not supposed to just fucking spray and pray when you're in a situation like that, which is exactly what they did.
Complex where there's a lot of non-target, innocent bystanders.
Yeah.
And this was a bottom corner apartment, and one officer went from the front door outside around to the patio and just started blindly shooting inside. And that would have gone.
He had to lose his job for that.
That would have gone into where the kitchen was. Like,
and
the
I'm sure
kitchen
there was an
across
apartment
from the living room, and that's where all the bullets and the pots and pans.
And I'm sure there was an apartment on the other side of that wall too.
Yeah.
Well, and
it's a fucking miracle that wasn't an innocent, somebody completely non-related.
I've seen a video of a local police force, and they weren't actually the only ones involved in this chase, but it went down Broadway, turned onto 161, and the guy got held up by traffic at basically the I-40 entrance ramp and all that, right there where that traffic light is. Mm-hmm. This is from years ago. He fired one shot. There were 28 rounds fired into his vehicle, and not a single one hit.
Oh, wow.
Him.
Damn.
Not a single one. But you're literally sitting there at a busy intersection with Taco Bell, McDonald's, Burger King, everything else around.
Kids everywhere.
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
And the chase actually went on and ended up in Jacksonville in somebody's yard.
my God.
But 28 rounds and not a single one hit him.
I mean, Jesus Christ. That's like stormtrooper shit.
Yeah. That, oh my God. If they were in the military and did that, they would not be able to carry a firearm.
I dare say you shouldn't be able to.
Yeah, you wouldn't make it out of basic training with marksmanship like that.
The officer that went around the side and started shooting blindly into the patio door, he left the scene for like 2 hours. They didn't even know where he was.
That's fucking bad suspect.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I don't know. They don't know where he went, what he was doing.
That's
and
weird.
he's had several misconduct reports against him. One was...
You shouldn't have several misconduct.
No. But that makes it sound like he was there for a hit.
One girl came forward...
did something trying to... I mean, why would you leave the scene for 2 hours and then come back?
Get rid of evidence.
Get rid of evidence?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There was one girl... This happened before all of this came out.
Or procure some evidence to plant?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
She had gone to the club. She was young, like probably 18, 19, something like that. She had gone to the club, was walking home, and a car pulled over. It wasn't a police car, but the guy was wearing a police uniform. He asked if she needed a ride, and she was like, well, he's a cop, so I guess it's okay. So she gets in the car, and he's like rubbing her leg and calling her baby, and she's like, oh my God, what do I do? This is a cop, you know. And then when he dropped her off at her apartment complex, he like leaned over and gave her a kiss on the head. And
yeah,
and then
that's totally appropriate.
Was it actually a cop?
Yeah, it was the guy that had left the scene.
Oh, wow.
Because when this came up, because when she got out of the car, she went to her apartment complex, but went like back behind the building, so he didn't know where she lived. And she had posted this on social media. And then when this came out, because one of the girls was like, what was his name, his badge number, all this, and she made a complaint to the police department. Never heard anything back from them. And when this came out, she was like telling her friends that was the guy, that was the officer that did this. And there were a lot of other reports from women
that were
about misconduct with him. And then the police report that they gave right after this happened listed no injuries on Breonna Taylor's body. She had been struck by 5 bullets.
Yeah, that seems reasonable.
Okay.
How did she die if there were no injuries? That's impressive.
That's what they're saying.
Like
they faked the police report.
See, that right there ought to be enough for all of them to lose their jobs.
Yeah.
You know?
No injuries on Breonna Taylor. So was that the what do you call it? The group or the task force that had actually done this? That was their report?
I think so. Oh, yeah. And another thing about that, the police, when all this thing came out about body cams, this drug force, whatever they were, said, no, we're not going to wear them.
Yeah, and
I guess the rest of the department was just like, okay.
Yeah,
I don't see how you opt out of shit like
if I was the chief, I'd have been like, the fuck you are?
I guess you're not going to work here anymore.
Either you wear it and it records 100% of the time, or you lose your job. Period.
I don't recall making this.
It's not optional.
I'd like to know how much stuff before that's happened with that force.
Yeah,
with no body cams.
Mm-hmm. Probably a lot.
There's a reason that they're so afraid of having what they're doing recorded.
With the Breonna Taylor case, I've heard so many damn stories that she had. The one that they were actually technically trying to investigate, that was the drug.
Yeah.
That she had dumped him like 6, 7, 8 months ago.
Yeah.
And then I've heard other people saying that, no, that was him in the bed. I mean, what's the
that
real
wasn't him in the
story?
bed.
Wasn't him in the
Well,
bed.
there's people claiming
The drug dealer guy was the ex-boyfriend.
And
that's
he was
what
in
I
custody.
had heard.
And the thing is, but they're just those are people that have a vested interest. And if it's happened, because I've seen posts on both sides. You've got the people that want to make the cops look worse, and then you've got the people that want to character assassinate the victim. And they're all doing dangerous, bad stuff, because then it just muddies the water and does everyone a disservice. The truth is the truth is the truth, and that irritates me.
Well, one major problem is before all the dumbasses started rioting, they didn't wait for the truth. You know, they heard a black woman was shot in her house by the cops, and that's all they needed.
And they came out saying she was shot in bed. She wasn't.
Yeah.
She was in the hallway.
She was
out of bed. She was out of her bedroom.
I've heard she was shot in bed.
Yeah.
That's what they've been reporting.
And what you say matters. Like shot in bed and was in bed when this started and got up. Those are different. You know, I mean,
because when they started, they said shot in bed. I'm thinking she's asleep.
She never made it out of. She never knew what hit her.
That's not what happened.
Right.
And this came from the boyfriend.
Right.
Yeah.
They heard the banging. They didn't know what was going on. They got up and were in the hallway asking who was at the door, and they wouldn't answer.
As they busted through the door.
That distinction matters. It doesn't mean that what they did was right, but it matters when you're trying to recreate what happened.
And here's the thing. If you're standing there in that hallway and all you hear is somebody pounding on the door...
Yeah, you're going to grab your gun.
And they don't say police. Yeah. When somebody kicks that door in, I'm going to shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're you know.
It's not like they came up and went, hello, is anybody home? No,
you know,
they're banging the hell out of the door, and then they're kicking the door in.
And there was only one witness that said they heard police, and I don't understand that. And there was a guy, and I don't know if this was the guy that said they said they were the police. If it was, it would make sense. He had opened the door. He was upstairs, and he saw a female officer, like, back away, kind of closer to the parking lot, because it was 3 male officers that were doing the shooting.
Okay.
And he was like, "What's going on?" And she said, "Get back in your apartment unless you want to be a part of this investigation," or whatever she said.
Right.
So I don't know if it was him that said it was the police.
Which that would make sense.
Yeah, that would make sense.
He was awake and knew it, you know.
Well, yeah.
You know.
But everybody else said they heard the pounding.
Yeah, and when shit like this happens, it's bad enough. You do not have to amp it up. The facts are enough, you know, on both sides.
Yep.
You know, it...
See, that's why, you know, in another podcast, we talked about them releasing the... I understand they're doing an investigation, but they need to release the complete video of the incident as soon as they possibly can.
People know.
Here's the deal. The kid that got killed by North Little Rock police on Camp Robinson, once that video played, there was no question.
Everybody shut up.
Yeah. Everybody went, oh, yeah, oh, okay, yeah.
And so many times, it could stop if... we just got the information, because, you know, when there's a big hullabaloo and they go, oh, we don't have cams. We don't, you know, I'm always like, why don't you?
Yeah.
You're supposed to. That's the thing. If you've got nothing to hide, if you're being above board, why don't you just put it out there and show that everybody acted the way they were supposed to act? And that's why the cameras exist.
Well, and not only that, even if you don't have body cams, we're in a day and age now, if it's a major city, something happens in North Little Rock.
Somebody recorded it somewhere.
but
something
the bitch
happens
of it is,
in North Little Rock. They have their own cams.
But
if they don't have it on camera, they come to us, because a lot of times we have on camera.
But when you're looking at an individual recording, 9 times out of 10 they will fucking trim it down.
Oh yeah, no,
to take whatever happened out of context.
That's what I'm saying. Play the whole damn thing.
But what I'm saying,
if you have to blur out something,
if you have to go to the original source, you can you can find the unedited version, even if that's not what they try to give you.
Yeah,
it's like that girl, was it in Chicago, I think, that was found in the freezer.
Yeah.
That was shady as fuck.
The hotel thing.
It took, I think, days and days for them, for the hotel to release the footage.
and they released redacted footage.
And then just happened so in front of this freezer that she was in. Oh, that camera wasn't working.
Yeah, my ass, it wasn't working.
That case is so weird. I've watched so many videos on that case, and
the thing is, and things like that right there. Okay, well, my first thought when you tell me that camera happened to not be working, is this one of your employees
that
perpetrated this crime?
Yep.
And you're trying to distance yourself from it. So that's what happens when you don't show it. Your mind is let to wonder what happened.
Why aren't you showing it?
And when it takes so long for them to release it, what are you doing to that footage?
Yeah, are you doctoring it? Or you what are you doing? Like, because it either
the hotel should be like, yes, here it is.
Right. It's like we want to help this be solved. So here's the information.
But if they weren't, I've heard that hotel was into like trafficking and stuff.
Really? Well, then
so if that's the case, they were trying to hide shit, make sure nothing was on there.
Exactly.
Nothing that would implicate them. And so it just like, if everybody acted right, show the footage, and everybody's going to go, That was legitimate. And
you fucked up, or you fucked up, or nobody
and
fucked up.
Simple.
And it's
but at least it's not this big thing that's just rolling and gaining like a snowball and just picking